Production of ethanol by corn starch. In the introduction of the plant, there are some equipments that are used, which is distillation column, mixer, evaporators, and many others.
Ethanol contains organic chemical because of its unique combination of properties. It is volatile, flammable, has colorless liquid, and has a slight chemical odor. It uses in the medical field as a beverage, antifreeze, and fuel.
The plant is located in 10 to 20 acres in rural industrial area and must have a good road access and access to labor. The utilities provided are electricity and water supply, and the area should be transportation-wise.
Then we'll proceed into the process flow diagram of ethanol production process, where the corn is first entering the milling and mashing station. And then it undergoes liquefaction and then fermentation, where some of the byproducts of the fermentation will go to the scrubber and the main product will proceed to the distillation unit. From the distillation, it undergoes further solid separation, and then it passes through the evaporator and lastly the dryer.
The first step in corn to ethanol dry mill process is milling. In milling, there is only one inlet and one outlet stream. 1 ton of corn is fed, producing the same amount of the inlet stream, that is 1 ton of finely grinded corn, which is called meal. Mass inlet is equals to mass outlet.
2.6 tons of mash produced from the previous process, which is mashing, is fed to the liquefaction column. Together with 0.3 tons of steam. Thus producing 2.67 tons liquefied mash and 0.23 tons of wastewater as byproduct.
The product from the liquefaction unit, which is 2.67 tons of liquefied mash, is then entering the fermentation unit. Along with that, 0.61 tons of water is added. From the fermentation unit, 2.97 tons of fermented mash is produced and will undergo further reaction, while the byproduct of 0.31 tons of fermented CO2 is then flowed into the scrubber for further treatment.
2.97 tons is produced from fermentation process, fed into the distillation column. Fermented mash. In the distillation column, 0.32 tons of ethanol is produced together with byproduct, which are water, 0.1 tons, and also solid, 2.44 tons produced.
As for the last stage, which is dryer, 0.36 tons of syrup together with 0.59 tons of wet cake from solid separation unit produce 0.33 tons solids as well as 0.62 tons of wastewater.
This is the overall mass balance for corn to ethanol dry mill process. In this process, 1 ton of corn is fed into the system together with 2.68 ton of water. The system yields 0.32 tons of ethanol together with by and co-product of 0.31 tons of carbon dioxide, 2.72 tons of wastewater, and 0.33 tons of solids. The energy required for the conversion of corn to ethanol dry mill process is 6,030 megajoule.
These are the energy balance for 5 selected equipment as in previous mass balance. The total energy required is 6,030 megajoule.
For costing and business plan part, this is the cost that our ethanol plant productions have to deal with, and basically our net income for this plant is about 40 million. These are the 3 tables that we prepared for our annual costing plan.